So hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to EduTap. I am Surbhi and this is Perspective 360 Degree, your one-stop solution for current affairs, descriptive writing and answer writing evaluation for phase 2 parts of your examination. Phase 2 part of your examinations of regulatory bodies, RBI, SEBI, NABARD. If you're following us for any other exam which has a descriptive portion in it, this initiative will definitely benefit you because we provide a 360-degree coverage for all the current affairs which can be seen in descriptive writing portion of any examination that you might sit for. So yes, welcome back all the old aspirants who have been there with me at 5 p.m. live on alternate days since day one. Welcome back all of you. And if you are a new aspirant, new viewer, again, a very hearty welcome to you, I hope. And we are making all the efforts to make this initiative as fruitful for you as we can. All right. So first of all, before proceeding further, let me know in the chat section if my audio is clear to you. Yes, good evening, all of you. Anmol, Tamalika. Tamalika, is it your first video? Is it your first class, first live class? Prototype, Preet, Vijay, Durga, Pravalika, Ria, Shubha Lakshmi, Caterpillar, Arya Chauhan Singh, Caterpillar again. All right, good evening, all of you, and welcome. So, yes, everything is all like audio and video is clear. All right, welcome to Malika. So now the topic for today is fintech. Since you clicked on the thumbnail, so you know the catch that whether it is solving problems or is it creating new. Solving problems or creating new. What is fintech? What does it do? Is it helping us? Is it in our favor or not? What is the government doing about it? All these things will be covered, but let's see why it has been in news. All right, so this is a news from Economic Times which says that Indian fintech industry to generate $190 billion in revenue by 2030. That is the report, and you can quote this data as well. All right, then it's not very recent. If you go to Reserve Bank India's website, there is a section called speeches and media interactions, and many a times we've seen that articles from speeches have been taken directly and they've been asked as questions in your examination. All right, so here we saw that fintech and the changing financial landscape has been covered as a full-fledged speech by RBI Governor on September 6, 2023. So it is very important for your exam. Also, you might not see coverage of fintech as a topic in news. You might not have read it in newspapers lately, but products based on fintech, for example, cred. So cred has been in news. There are other fintech products which have been in news. So that's why studying topic called fintech becomes very important for us. Let's see where does it fit in our syllabus. Why are we studying it? So if you talk about RBI Grade B, you can very well study this under financial inclusion also. But there are two parts under your general finance and management. That is part 3 of paper in financial system. Recent developments in global financial system and its impact on Indian financial system and role of information technology in banking and finance. So these two are the topics for RBI Grade B, which can see a coverage of the topic fintech. For NABARD Grade A, this is not for NABARD Grade B. For NABARD, this is for NABARD Grade B, not for NABARD Grade A. There is another topic called financial inclusion, use of technology in your NABARD exam. Otherwise, NABARD exam has only ESI, and question from fintech is not likely to be asked in NABARD paper, NABARD Grade B exam, but definitely read about it, definitely stay with us because you never know, and so never take a chance with that because this is a very important topic. Now for SEBI Grade A, again you have the topic financial inclusion and use of technology. I see a lot of doubts and a lot of comments coming, so I'll be going back to them once I display the expected question. So what is the expected question? You can see from here. For all of you who do not know about this initiative, we study topic stepwise and we also generate answer in perspective 360 degree. After I finish this video, you will get 48 hours to post your answers in the comment section, which our team will evaluate for you, give you comprehensive feedback entirely free of cost. All right, so what do you think can be the expected question with regards to fintech? Fintech as a topic or as a question has already been asked by RBI Grade B examination in phase 2. So let's try to frame another question which might be asked in future because we see that topics can be repetitive a lot of times in your exam. So it reads, highlight the role played by policy initiatives in driving the fintech revolution in India. In short, it is asking you what the government has done, government or RBI has done to bring or to drive the fintech revolution in India? Are there any challenges involved? Are there any issues involved? Are there any roadblocks? If they are, discuss them. All right. So basically, you have to talk about government initiatives here. That is your first part. You have to talk about RBI's initiatives, and in the second part, you'll be talking about challenges. And I always say, whenever there are challenges involved, always end your answer with a way forward. Always give a solution, since you are an aspiring manager and an aspiring officer. So obviously, stay positive first of all, and always give solutions. Now, sharing with you the answer blueprint. This is, Holy Grail, basically. EduTap toppers have followed this. They have followed this blueprint for writing their answers in phase 2 part of examination, and this blueprint has got them very, very high marks. That's why they're sitting as officers, sitting as managers with RBI and various other regulatory bodies as of now. So our answer blueprint is divided into 3 parts: introduction, main body, and conclusion. So in the introduction, we talk generally about the topic. For example, our today's topic is fintech. So our discussion will be surrounded around it. So what we'll do is, in the introduction, we'll give a brief overview of fintech, especially fintech in India. Then in the main body, there are various subheadings. For example, this question also has 2 parts. So we will be dividing it into 2 parts, and our approach would be to divide the answer into various segments, as many segments as we can, to make it clear for the examiner, to make it presentable for the examiner, so that we get very high marks. Then we always end with a way ahead or conclusion. Always, that's what we do. So giving you answer blueprint and what we are going to do today. In the introduction, we'll explain fintech and we'll explain its relevance with respect to India. Then we'll write body part 1, where we'll be covering the policy initiatives. All right, and then in the body part 2, what we'll be doing, we'll be addressing the second part of the question, which is the challenges. Then in conclusion, obviously, we'll give a way forward, we'll give some solutions from our end, and we will not dictate or direct government or RBI or any other body in that. We'll remember that we'll be very, very polite while writing our way forward or recommendations or solutions. And we can also summarize the answer in the conclusion after giving the solution or before giving the solution. Okay, so that's how we'll proceed. Before I bring you to the introduction, before I teach you fintech, before I display the introduction, let me take some doubts. There are a lot of messages coming. So just 1 minute, let me take some doubts, and then we'll proceed further. All right, Caterpillar. All right, Shatish, that's a big compliment. All the very best to you. Thank you. Yes, Caterpillar, that's right. Divya, good evening. Good evening. Sibananda, hello. Technological innovations in financial sector, retail banking, investment. Ananya, that's right. That's right. All right. So to give you a brief overview of what fintech is, if I have to talk about what is fintech, let's go there. Yeah. So fintech is basically made out of 2 words. The first word is financial and the second one is technology. So when technology is used to make your financial transactions easier, that is what we call fintech, or technology which makes your finances easy, and it helps you save money, it helps you save time, it helps you do a lot of things. Now in the chat section, let me know, are you using any fintech application on a daily basis or regularly? Can you give me any example of technology which has made it easier for you to transact money, to deposit money, or to make some expenses? Has it happened with you? Can you give me one such example of fintech which you see around yourself? Sibananda, we'll come to that. If it appears a lot in current affairs or in economic survey, then it could be seen. Yes, UPI, Google Pay, apps like Paytm, you have the QR code, okay? You scan the QR code, Bharat QR code, and then you can make payments. Even the vendors, the street vendors have those QR codes. They have apps like Paytm and Google Pay. So these are the things which have made our financial transactions very simple. Let's say if the government has to send some amount of money in every person's bank account, because the government feels that a poor section of society needs some help, so the government can actually send them directly in their bank accounts. And if you remember, the first lecture that we took for central bank digital for perspective 360 degree was central bank digital currency, that is e-rupee. What is that doing? That is also a form of fintech or financial technology, which will make it easier for us to deal in rupee, to manage our finances, to decide what we do with our finances, and to it will make transactions very, very simple. All right, so we will be talking about all these technologies. For your phase 1 examination, please stay abreast about segregation of these technologies and remember the facts. For the phase 2 examination, here let's display the definition of fintech. Let's write a definition of fintech, and then we'll also make our introduction strong with the help of some data. So fintech refers to integration of technology into offerings by financial services companies to improve their use and delivery to consumers. See, there are n types of definitions of fintech. If you find this definition easy, use that in your answers. If you don't find it very much understandable, find a separate definition or write your own definition of fintech and inculcate that in your answer. All right, it is used to change how consumers interact with the financial industry. Previously, how were we interacting? We were interacting with the help of cash, or even if we had to take out some money, we had to go to ATMs if we needed some money. But as of now, what we are doing, we are relying on net banking. Net banking is connected with UPI, it's connected with our debit cards, credit cards. So that's how our interaction with the financial industry that has changed with the help of technology. So that is what the role of fintech is. It often includes, so we are basically expanding the definition. We are trying to explain fintech further. If you think that this explanation is lengthy for you, then please sum this up within one line. Sum the definition up with examples in one line. So it often includes expanding access to financial products, for example, availability of loans, cheap credit, anything like that, lowering fees and providing faster, more personalized service. Then what can be the examples? For example, robo-advisors, payment apps, for example, your Google Pay and Paytm, peer-to-peer lending apps. Lending apps, we will be covering P2P lending also sometime whenever it appears in current affairs, very important for you. So P2P lending apps, what they do, they help you put money out there into the financial system, and that money can be given as loan to someone else, and you will get a high rate of interest on that. Then, but it's risky, don't do that without proper knowledge. Then you have investment apps and crypto apps, etc. And if I talk about recent data, and this data also comes from economic survey, the last economic survey that we had for 2022 to 23, that is the latest we have as of now. So that economic survey said that India is one of the markets for fintech that is expanding the fastest, because yes, we are one of the most populous country of the world. So yes, fintech market is expanding the fastest because of digital revolution in India, with an adoption rate of 87%. And what is the world average adoption rate for fintech? It's just 64%. But for India, adoption rate of technologies which make finances easy, or of fintech, adoption of fintech rate adoption of fintech in India is very much high. It is almost 87%. So people welcome fintech, people welcome any new technologies which make their transactions easier, or which make their how they handle their finances easier. All right, so again, there is another set of data. Please remember both of them, use them in your answers. The Indian fintech industry is projected to generate around $200 billion in revenue by the year 2030. So if you plan a venture for yourself anytime in future which is based on a service that is in the fintech sector, then definitely you're going to see a lot of profits, because it has been expected that by 2030, whatever fintech ventures are there, they will have a profit of around $200 billion, which is humongous. Okay, so now before moving to the let's delve deeper section, as the picture indicates, in the let's delve deeper section, we move on to the body part, and we write the answer more comprehensively. We understand what are the various aspects of this topic and this answer. Before moving on to that, that is body part 1, where we'll be discussing the policy initiatives. Let me know in the chat section if you have any doubts till here. All right, yes, UPI, NDS, PhonePe, GPay, Cred. Yes, Cred is a very good example. Bunny, Subbalakshmi. Simple, yes. Professor, investing platforms like Grow. Yes, all these. investing platforms like Grow. Previously, stock market, it was a very, far-sighted thing. But there are apps like Grow, there are apps like ET Money, which have made, these stock market investment very easy. There are apps like Cred, which help you handle your credit card bills. They also guide you on where you should, why you should use credit card more. Pay later apps would come under fintech. Yes, they will come under fintech. Yes, Ashok, hello. Ma'am, word limit for introduction. Word limit for introduction, it should not be more than 15% of the word limit of your answer. All right, it should be 10 to 15% of the total word limit, not more than that. Satyam, I'll come to that later. So let's introduce body part one, the policy initiatives. So what are the policy initiatives that the government or RBI has taken to help fintech or financial technology thrive in the country? The first thing here is you might be reading Jan Dhan Yojana. Why am I talking about Jan Dhan Yojana? It is just a scheme launched by the government. But because of Jan Dhan Yojana, many people in the country could have their own bank accounts, and when a person has bank account, after that only it becomes easier for fintech companies to provide them with financial services. Let's say a person who has no bank account, how will he use apps like Google Pay, apps like Paytm, apps like Cred? So, this Jan Dhan Yojana, it actually served as the bottom or the bedrock for the fintech revolution in India. So, that's kudos to the government. So, Jan Dhan Yojana, what it has done, it is world's largest financial inclusion initiative. And, see, Jan Dhan Yojana will not be in news now. So, you will not see a direct question of Jan Dhan Yojana in your descriptive part, but you should definitely inculcate that in your points. So, it helped in new bank account enrollment for over 450 million beneficiaries. What is 1 million? It's 10 lakh. So 450 into 10 lakh beneficiaries for direct benefits transfer and accessibility to a host of financial services applications. What were the financial services applications provided when these people had finally got their bank accounts? Remittances, credit, insurance and pensions directly going into the bank accounts of people. Then it enabled, how it enabled fintech sector? It enabled fintech players. That means people who had fintech applications or companies to build technology products to penetrate the large consumer base in India. Now, when you see vendors, street vendors, they have applications like Paytm. You can actually pay to them online with the help of UPI. Why is that possible? Because that person has a bank account, thanks to Jan Dhan Yojana. Then the second topic here is very important. It's called India Stack. What is India Stack? So now whatever have been the initiatives of Government of India or RBI to make digital transactions easier, starting from Aadhaar. Aadhaar provided you a unique unique identity. With the help of Aadhaar, eKYC could be carried out and your bank accounts could be created online itself. So all these efforts, then came UPI. Then now we are moving to ONDC. So now all these efforts which have been taken by the government to make digital payments easier or to digitize the entire system in which we function, that collective effort is being called as India Stack. So it is a set of APIs that allows governments, businesses, startups and developers to utilize a unique digital infrastructure. What is the unique digital infrastructure? I'll tell you about. India has developed a unique digital infrastructure to deal with its people, to actually provide services to its people, to solve India's hard problems towards presence-less, paperless and cashless service delivery. It is the driving force behind fintech revolution in India. For example, Aadhaar, and based on that you had the Arogya Setu app, CoWIN app, Digital Locker app, Unified Payment Interface, Open Credit Enablement Network. Now now the latest one is Open Network for Digital Commerce. So now here anybody would be able to buy products online and anybody would be able to sell their products online. You don't have to register with any e-commerce website like Amazon or anything like that. Then you have FASTag, M-Passport. All of these have been digitized. So all this digitized system is known as India Stack. Stack means a collection. So the collection of all these digital things is known as India Stack. Yes, so that's the picture of India Stack and that is the picture of Open Network for Digital Commerce. Very important for the phase 1 as well. Now moving to financial literacy. What has the government done to improve financial literacy in the country? It must have launched some marketing campaigns. It must have generated some awareness. There is an initiative taken by RBI that they set up the National Center for Financial Education and implemented the Center for Financial Literacy project. This was done by RBI. So this is something you can directly quote in your answers. You don't have to explain financial literacy there. Financial literacy is basically awareness of financial products, how to open a bank account, why to open a bank account, how to use a UPI app, how to use this, how to open a bank account online, how to use a credit card, debit card, all this, and how not to be at the hands of a frauding agency or a person who's trying to fraud you. So all that is part of financial literacy. The fourth one, and very important, if you're not aware of digital rupee, please go to my first lecture. It's available on our live section on channel EduTap. So digital rupee, or central bank digital currency of India, which is e-rupee that we call it. So now this is another initiative that has been launched by RBI, and they are targeting 10 lakh transactions per day by the end of December. So electronic version of cash, and it will primarily accelerate the growth of fintech market in India, because it will be rupee in digital form. It can be seen in your mobile phone. So your mobile phone or the app in your mobile phone will be your wallet for e-rupee. Then you have regulatory sandbox framework. This is very important, and this is personally my favorite. What is regulatory sandbox? Now see, if you are a person and you know that if you create some app which can actually help people save in their online transactions on a day-to-day basis, there are some taxes occurring, or there are some charges when they carry out some online transactions, and you have recognized these charges, and you promise people that if you download this app, if you share your details with me, I will tell you what are the hidden charges on your transactions. So definitely you are actually lowering down the cost for people, you are helping people. But now, first of all, you don't have the means available, you don't have the money available, you don't have the required infrastructure available. Secondly, you are afraid that if there are any repercussions, any side effects of this app which you might not see as of now, then the government might not approve it. So so that it hinders innovation in the country. So to cross those hurdles, what we do is there is a mechanism called regulatory sandbox. What it does is testing of new products or services can be carried out in a controlled environment. And who provides this controlled environment? RBI. Where the regulator, who's the regulator we are talking about? RBI, may permit certain relaxations for the testing. And if you develop a product there are high chances that your application or your product will be approved by the government. So there are fintech innovators, which is you. So fintech innovators, what they develop, they sometimes develop disruptive fintech technology, which is not taken openly by people, or this is sometimes harms people or government in certain ways. So licensing and implementation is not allowed later. On the other hand, if you develop a technology with the help of a regulatory sandbox, that is inside this sandbox, if you develop this technology that is in the boundaries that have been given, in the boundary and space that has been given by RBI, then licensing becomes easier, and regulators and research centers, they actually support you develop this technology because it is for their benefit also. So they say that build almost anything you want in a safe environment with clear boundaries and safeguards in our, under our jurisdiction. We may relax some of our rules, and consequences of failures, they can be contained. So it is a win-win situation. So regulatory sandbox coming quickly. RBI has allowed 6 entities, yani ki 6 businesses, to test fintech products to deal with financial frauds under sandbox scheme. So this is very important and a very beautiful scheme for your exam. This was announced in August 2019. Since then, it has been continuing for various aspects. For example, retail payments, cross-border payments, MSME lending, and financial frauds, for example, as you can see here, and all other things. Okay. Now coming to the 6th point, that is hackathons. What are hackathons? As the name indicates, is some hacking occurring here? Hacking does not happen here. Hackathons are basically where all programmers, or let's say software engineers, anybody who has the knowledge of programming, they all sit together in a competition-like environment, and they try to develop the desired product. Now, what is the desired product? Anything that RBI says. So RBI actually, launches a RBI has actually started a hackathon back in 2021. So in 2023, it was also held. It is known as Harbinger. It is every year known as Harbinger. The theme for this year was inclusive digital services. So RBI made it very clear to the programmers that what kind of services have to be generated by you in this hackathon. Services which make, any product that makes financial services accessible to differently abled. For example, you have a application of RBI under which if you scan a rupee note, it actually tells you which what denomination of rupee is that, what denomination of note is that. So basically it's called so basically, it is helping the differently abled. So RBI wants more and more such applications. It helps people who are actually blind and cannot see notes. So more and more, it's called the money application. So more and more applications are needed. So RBI announced this goal in the hackathon itself. Then there were another goal was to facilitate efficient compliance. Please develop a program or an app on that. Extend the reach of central bank digital currencies because RBI wants to expand them. So it was seen as a competition in hackathon and enhance the scalability of blockchains. So now what was the prize money for the winner of this hackathon? It was 40 lakh rupees. All right, and this is a picture of one of the hackathons. This is not the picture of RBI hackathon, but this is this is how hackathons are carried out. All right, so now before moving on to the challenges part, this has been an intense discussion. Yes, topics of finance, they can be little intense to study, but if you move step by step, it will be very, very easy for you, and keep revising. Then it's gonna be a cakewalk. All right, so if you have any doubts still here, please let me know in the chat section. I'm not able to cross more than 250 words for descriptive question. I'm new to the preparation. All right, Satyan, just follow this initiative. Keep writing with us after every session, and you will be able to reach that. Thank you so much, Rohit. All right. So now moving on to the challenges part. What are the challenges associated with fintech technologies or fintech revolution? So do you know of any challenges which are associated with technology in the financial sector? Let's say you're using using a UPI app. Can a fraud occur over a UPI app? Let's say there is this very amazing service called Tap to Pay. Tap to Pay means, let's say for rupees 3,000, up to 3,000, you've set a limit on your debit card, and what you do is on the point of scale machine, every time it's a hassle for you. If you have to make a payment, you have to enter the PIN every time. So you make it automated that up to 3,000 rupees payment can be extracted from my account if just my debit card is tapped on the POS machine. So tap to pay mechanism, can that be misused? Can a fraud occur on a UPI app like Google Pay or any app like that? Can any app which actually guarantees that it will provide you with good credit card services, can it actually carry out a fraud because it has a lot of data of yours? So all of these things can occur. All of these things can happen. So let's broadly look at what are the 5 challenges we'll be covering. The first thing is privacy issues, because whenever you use any fintech, any financial technology, any of these apps, you share a lot of data with the service providers, with the app that you're using. They have a lot of data. So the problem is of data confidentiality and consumer protection. Your data can be leaked, your data can be misused. Many of the apps actually take the access to your Gmail accounts as well. Few of the apps, they take access to your Gmail accounts as well. So if this data is leaked, then there is a problem of privacy and safety of customers. The second one is cyber attacks, because we don't have a lot of financial literacy in our country, which is going to be our 4th point. Hence, cyber attacks or cyber frauds in our country are very rampant, and this has been seen mostly with old people, mostly with people who are not aware about which call is a call from actually the bank or the service provider, or which is a fraud call. So many people have lost their money because of cyber attacks. So the data security challenge for fintechs. The fintech systems, they are vulnerable to hackers because automation of processes and digitization of data. They just have to hack the application or hack your account to be able to just take all the money. So they can gain access to systems and damage them irreparably. Then the fintech industry and cybersecurity, rising incidences of white collar crimes. Again, this was a recent news from yesterday. It talks about ATM fraud. Accused held for withdrawing money from a woman's account in Ludhiana. ATM fraud. False or duplicate ATMs have also been generated, and many people have lost their money from their accounts, which they did not even actually transact. All right. The third one here is regulatory challenges. Now, your technology called cryptocurrency, for example, Ethereum, Bitcoin, they are also a part of fintech revolution. They are also known as financial technologies. And your financial technologies, they're not just Indian, there are foreign technologies also. So there is a regulatory chaos that is there in the environment right now. The governments, mostly all these crimes that occur are trans-border crimes. The governments all over the world are trying to understand how to regulate cryptocurrencies, how to deal with them, or how to deal with trans-border crimes in the fintech sector. So the problem here for regulatory challenges is especially for cryptocurrency, and cross-border legal and regulatory issues are there, and there is a diversity of offerings in fintech. There are so many products launched on an everyday basis that the government is not able to keep pace with the innovation that is happening in this sector. So it is difficult to formulate a single and comprehensive approach to these problems. And recently, RBI's governor has urged fintech players to form a self-regulatory organization soon, just like you have it for the press or for the media. So the RBI has announced that you please form a self-regulatory organization as soon as possible. By the time, government will also keep on updating the laws. The fourth one is very rampant financial illiteracy. Yes, you can teach a person how to use a UPI app, you can teach them how to use Google Pay or Paytm, but you cannot teach them that, if some hacking incidents occurs, or if their phone hangs, or if they press something here or there, most of the times these people, they're not able to deal with such incidences, and many a times they make transactions which are actually fraud. So only 27% of Indian adults, they are financially literate, and most of these are young people. And 24% of women, they meet the minimum level of financial literacy, and this is according to the data given to us by RBI. So, and it is said that women financial literacy or financial literacy of adults generally, that is very much necessary for India's future. So now the fifth point here is illegal digital lending. What is digital lending? Lending means you are taking loans or you are giving loans to somebody. Digital means all the loans being taken or given are happening digitally or online. So during COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people lost their jobs and they could not move to banks because they did not have collateral for taking loans. So a lot of fraudulent activities with regards to digital lending occurred. A lot of new apps and programs were launched and people were frauded. So during the pandemic, digital lending through mobile apps, it became popular, and more than half of these digital loan providers, they were operating illegally, and sometimes the interest rate that they were charging for loans was as high as 500%, and that's huge. All right, so they have recently, it's by Money Control, have reported over 700 illegal digital lending apps for review action. So this has been the statement of Fintech Association, CEO of a Fintech Association. So that is humongous. 700 illegal apps for digital lending are operating right now. So ED, Enforcement Directorate, they're probing criminal proceeds of rupees 2116 crore acquired from illegal loan apps. So this is again a recent news from Economic Times. So hence these are the challenges that you can write about in your answers. This cover, regarding fintech, these are the challenges that we have. If you have any new additions to make here, let me know in the chat section. Before proceeding to the conclusion, this has been a long answer, so we'll write a short conclusion. But before writing that, just let me know in the chat section if you have any doubts or any additions to make. All right, Ashok sir and Veenu ma'am, hello and thank you. So in the conclusion, let's write a way forward. What can be the way forward? Look at the question again. Okay. First of all, you've told the role played by policy initiatives in driving fintech revolution. So give a summary for this as well. That thanks to the fintech initiatives or the policy initiatives of Government of India and RBI, that the fintech revolution in India has actually taken place. All right. Secondly, this is the question, are there any challenges involved? So first of all, you have summarized in one line the first part of the answer. In second part, challenges were discussed to give a way forward. All right, that is it simple here? Summarize with the help of first part and give a way forward with the help of challenges part, which is the second part. So let's see what we'll write. So despite these obstacles, the fintech industry in India has shown remarkable resilience and potential. Very much right. Then policy initiatives have provided the necessary foundation, starting from Aadhaar. All right. Necessary foundation for innovation and financial inclusion, allowing fintech companies to flourish. And they will be making around $200 billion by 2030. Again, you can use that data point here if you don't want to use that in introduction. We used that in introduction previously. So the future of fintech in India, now we are giving the solution or way forward. It will depend on the continued collaboration between regulators like RBI, industry players, people who are launching these apps, people who are launching fintech products, and the other stakeholders. Who are the other stakeholders? It could be civil society, it could be you and me, the customers. We should be more and more financially literate, agile, and aware, and we should discuss about such products and such activities to address these challenges while harnessing the sector's vast potential for economic growth and financial empowerment. So that sums up your answer. It's the perfect summary and way forward for this answer. Please feel free to be innovative with your answers. I'm displaying the question again here. Free evaluation is being provided to you by experts of Team EduTap. You can post your answers in the comment section to this question in the next 48 hours. It's Friday right now, so we will be taking answers till Sunday 5 p.m. Till Sunday 5 p.m. whatever answers are posted in our comment section, we will provide them with free evaluation. Make sure that you're following all the rules that we have been discussing in Perspective 360 degree for answer writing. Make sure you're maintaining an index for all the topics you have covered. Make sure you're using your weekends to revise, and make sure you're believing in yourself above all. Okay, so I'll see you on Monday at 5 p.m. And before signing off, just to let you know, my name is Surbhi. If you have any feedback, you can let us know at hello@edutap.co.in. Feel free to comment in the YouTube section if this initiative is helping you even a little bit in your preparation. Take out time. I know many of you are working professionals, but a little time, a little, word of appreciation, it actually motivates me and my team a lot. So you can also reach us to 8146207241. And now, before signing off, I'll be taking some doubts because I see a lot of comments coming. Can we discuss about Google Pay's monopoly as it holds more than 33% of market share? Kshitij, as soon as a topic appears regarding monopoly of Google or such apps, we will definitely cover this, okay? Under challenges. Yes, Kshitij, you can write that as a point. You can write that as a point that dependence on such platforms or dependence on, certain companies which have monopolized the market. You can talk about that. Can I post answers if I have only 250 words in my answer? Yes, go ahead with that. You might see the review that they might ask you to expand your answer, but at least start with 250 words. And how CCI imposed fine for the same. Don't talk about the fine, Kshitij, but you can talk about the monopoly of Google. In fact, other people watching this, you can also talk about that fintech companies. Not all the companies are playing equally in the market. So there is monopoly of bigger companies more as compared to other companies. Thank you, Shibananda. That means a lot to me and our team. All right, Vijay, you're welcome. Prototype, welcome. And Uday, welcome. I'll see you all at 5 p.m. on Monday. Please share your answers before Sunday, 5 p.m. And you'll be provided with free evaluation.